All right, the dangers of average real estate agents. Before we get started, don't laugh about the glasses. I'm getting old. Someday you'll be old. You don't want people laughing at you. So this is a very, very, very hard subject to talk about because I'm basically saying that there's dangers of using an average real estate agent. Before I would ever begin to make these claims, I did a lot of research, and in 2015, NAR, the National Association of Real Estate Agents, said that they are troubled by agents who do not understand this industry, and it is a big threat. And I can provide that if you need that. Number one, overpayment. Most average agents or below average agents have a history of overpaying. They get too excited, they don't understand the market, they haven't done enough deals. There was a time that last year, the year before, that a lot of the houses were going overpriced. Sometimes that has changed. But some of these agents are still apt to go in at way over asking, even after the house has been on the market. So that's one thing that happens, and you need to be careful of it. Not maximizing sale price. It's just another sign of average real estate agents that don't know how to maximize the sale price of a house. There are steps you do, and you learn those steps by doing them hundreds of times. Until you have that working understanding, you just don't know how to maximize the sale price. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's the seller who pays the price so that new or average real estate agent can learn on the job. I'm not saying never use a newer agent. I'm saying make sure you do your due diligence and make sure they're up to the challenge. High rate of failed offers. A lot of people don't think about this, but I have seen some clients time after time, they come to me and say, I've been with so-and-so, we missed 4 or 5 houses. It's demasculating. It's like riding a roller coaster ride. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. No. How many times do you want to be on that roller coaster ride? Failure to understand the agreement of sale. I believe personally that a lot of agents have never read the entire agreement of sale. And if you ask them questions about like liquidated damage or when you need appraisal contingency, their eyes will go in the back of their head. I don't think a lot of them can answer these questions. The ability to anticipate, sense, and neutralize danger. That sounds very high tech, but once you have done this job and you've done 100 or 200 transactions, you start to see where the trouble is coming up for the seller and the buyer. And there's ways to negotiate that. There's potholes that can't be seen by the untrained eye. And because you've done it so many times, you know what's going to happen next. And that's, once again, something you get by experience, and who pays that bill, the buyer or seller. Lack of knowledge on the market conditions and understanding the change. It goes back to what I talked about earlier. If you're not doing a lot of transactions and you're not out there in the market, you just have a slower reaction time to what's actually happening. Not fully committed. I'm not going to say that all part-time agents are not fully committed. Some average agents are not fully committed. This is one of those jobs that a lot of realtors don't make it more than 2 years. If it was me, when I met them, I'd be asking the tough questions like how many houses they've sold. I'd check them on Zillow. I'd look for the reviews. I'd look to make sure that the house prices are consistent with what I want to sell. If it's in the same area, same style. All of these things matter because at the end of the day, it's your money. Loyalty and commission driven. This is probably one of the areas that I get most frustrated about. When you have an agent, I understand that they're all human and we have our own trials and tribulations. But at the end of the day, when an agent starts thinking more about their mortgage or car payment than what's best for the seller, it's time for them to readjust what's important in their life. Because I believe that the seller and buyer, the fiduciary responsibility I have to them is always paramount. I want to win. I want to make money just like everybody else, but I want to win with my client, not against them. Stress, loss of money, and potential lawsuits. There's a lot of liability that comes with this job. There's a lot of liability that comes with selling a house and buying a house. More so probably from selling. Making sure you understand the instructions and how to fill out the seller's disclosure. Making sure that you're not opened up to undue liability with inspections when sometimes you don't need to give an inspection. These are all things, once again, that are learned by doing so. And unfortunately, you don't want to be the one that pays the bill for that learning. I'm Dan Parson, the Pitbull Realtor, and I hope this shed a little bit of light on some of the difficulties you're going to have just picking the first real estate agent you find instead of vetting them and finding out what makes them tick and who they are. Thank you.